So the thing froze, the pipes froze, and so the owner of the house, my buddy's father, owned Carling Electric, and anyway, so he had like a network of trades folks who could help us out. So anyway, he got this old plumber over to the house. His name was Cecil, and Cecil took electrodes. Oops, now I got this going. So Cecil took electrodes and attached them to the pipes in the house. And what it did was it heated up all the pipes in the house and melted the ice that were in them, and then the water started to flow again. I thought that was fascinating.
That's good to know.
Yeah, like so the whole house was electrified, and so he had to do that 3 or 4 times that winter, and it was cold. I was in the basement.
Yeah.
So I've heard other people in Orleans who had no hot water in their kitchen. I wonder if that's what happened. I wonder if all their pipes froze.
Yeah, probably. I guess the plumbers around the area or everywhere they're on watch and they're doing their thing. I know that in Carlton Place, my parents owned an old house on Moffat, and my dad always was afraid of going away in the winter because of the pipes may freeze. And he was the mechanic, and he had papers. He worked at Ottawa Airport in the late 50s, early 60s. So he knew the air conditioning and the pipes might freeze, and he was always afraid. So if they went away, they always had a good friend of theirs had a key to go in and check the pipes every day.
I don't think that electronic or electrical rather heating would work for Marlene, because your pipes are plastic, not, but you said they're blue and red.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that is non-conductive, so the electricity won't go through it, unfortunately.
I might get zapped.
I get worse. Might melt the pipes. Still
Yes, I don't want the fire department.
Like putting an electrical current through your entire house and all the copper pipes seems like right up there with things that they would like regulate away.
Let somebody else try it.
Yeah, we're so green. We're always thinking green in Perth.
Like back in the day, they used to do all sorts of things that they would never do today. I remember Bob Lettingham was telling us a story of how you used to be able to go down to a department store downtown, and in the shoe department, they had an X-ray machine that you would put the shoe on, and then you would put your foot in the X-ray machine, and it would tell you whether your shoes fit properly. Do you remember those?
Yeah, I remember.
I've heard of that, but I'm a little too young.
When did they get rid of that?
Pardon?
When did they get rid of that?
I don't know.
I know that if left unsupervised in a shoe department with an X-ray machine, my brother and I would have totally misused that thing. We'd be putting hands in there. We're like, let's see if you get your hand in there, Bob.
For sure.
I had a question for you, Reb Mike, which is a totally different direction. Had a question for you, Mike. Just wondering how you're doing for batteries in the PA system. Are you short of it?
Not good. I could use more 9-volt batteries for the handheld mic.
Yeah, I thought they might be getting low. I'll try to get some into you by Tuesday.
Thank you. I'm pretty happy with the sound over the last couple of weeks.
They've been much better. Yeah.
2 weeks ago, I made a mistake. I got a new camera that it's got, I think, a more sensitive preamp in it. So each camera's got an audio system and it's got a video system in it. And the audio system in the new camera is a little bit more sensitive. So I had the recording level too high 3 weeks ago, and it sounded really distorted and cracked up. And I just had to live with it, because once it's that way, you can't fix it. And then I fixed it a couple weeks ago. So I'm really happy with it. I'm not happy with the sound quality when we live stream on Sunday morning. So when we're all in the sanctuary together on Sunday morning, I'm not at all happy with the way that it sounds. It sounds kind of muffled and very compressed. So I've got a new program that I'm going to try maybe this week when I have some time in there to do a practice live stream to see if I can get the audio better, because that piano sounds so nice and I can't quite get it to sound the way that I want it to. It sounds kind of swishy to me. I don't know. It's like a swishy kind of sound, and it's not. Anyway, we'll figure it out.
It's
I know my
very
colleagues.
distorted, I find, when I watch it, the sound.
Yeah.
And
So
that's
you-
the problem with the musicians that I know here in town. Some of them, they want to do a bit of music on YouTube or something. And it's to get the sound right.
It's the hardest part. And I
Yeah.
almost think that I don't almost think that, I do think that the sound is more important than the video. I think. So anyway, we'll play around with it this week. I have a son who is studying sound engineering at Algonquin, and I'm going to wait and see because he's very busy with that, and he's actually living on campus. He's living in residence. So a lot goes along with that, including really enjoying living in residence. And so he's offered to help me out a little bit. And so I will take him up on that, and we'll see what happens. But anyway, no, I think this week I want to try to improve the sound, because I think we're going to be back in the sanctuary. I don't know, soonish. I don't want to predict away here, but I don't think it's going to be months and months until we're back together. I don't think it'll be that long, but anyway, I'd like to get it. I'd like to get it as good as we can. Hello, Gloria and or John. How are you today? Well, I can see their names, but their mic is muted, so maybe they can hear us. And Gary, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I finally got on.
How are things in Grenoble Crescent? It's Grenoble you live on, or DeCarry?
To carry.
DeCarry. Have you been out walking along the river at all?
No,
No?
I'm not able to.
I want to go down there because a friend of mine, Ian Gadwa, here in Orleans, he used to be my neighbor 2 doors down. He and a couple of friends started Ski Heritage East, which is a not-for-profit grooming group. What they do is they groom a 25-kilometer long trail. I think it's 25, maybe it's less than that. But I think it goes from like Petrie Islandish almost all the way to the other side of the Aviation Parkway. And it's for cross-country skiing, snowshoeing, mountain. They have these mountain bikes. They're called fat bikes. And they got like these really wide wheels. And there's people who use it for that. And so anyway, I think it goes behind here. I'm going to have to go down there and check it out.
Is that right along? Is that right beside the river all the way?
My son, I know, up on Dewford, he takes the dog somewhere down for a walk.
Down by the river. Well, they do have the multi-usage pathway that they have between Petrie Island and, holy smokes. I mean, it goes all the way, pretty much all the way downtown. Is
Petrie
gorgeous.
Island it's from Petrie Island to the boat yacht club.
Yeah. And then you can go up the hill in the yacht club, and then you get on. There is a series of pathways that you can take, and they go up until almost Green Island.
Yeah.
Where you can, and then once you get to Green Island, you're stuck on Sussex until you get down to through downtown. Then you can get on another pathway that will take you down by the locks, and then behind Parliament Hill.
Yeah.
And then all the way quite a distance. Anyway, I've walked and biked that a few times over the last couple of years, and it is absolutely amazing. once I was able to start riding my bike, more considerable distances, it's kind of fun to see the city from that perspective, because it's totally different from driving.
Yeah,
Anyway, that's
Very
a
fortunate
fact.
that Ottawa has that availability across the city. Because when I've lived in Orleans, I used to go along the Eastern Parkway. And then when I was back out in Stittsville, there was the path along where the old railway track was. So there's loads of paths. There's a whole book out here that's published of the pathways in Lanark County and in Ottawa.
I would like to see that, because I really enjoy walking, and I don't, not so much in this weather, but that'd be kind of fun. How's Ann doing, Gary?
She's fine. She's puttering around upstairs. She'll be
Yeah,
down.
you look like you and Laverne look like you're down in the basement in your home offices.
I am.
That's right, exactly.
The man caves?
Yes, this is. That's for sure. Look at the background.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what all you got in there.
I don't
It
know,
looks
but
like
it looks
one
like
of the departments in the government where I was in the files.
Well, the books, the roll of yellow books are my source material for speaking engagement I do with the Eastern Ottawa Resource Center,
Oh yes.
which has been canceled because of COVID. Come here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Looks like Ann's being waved in. Hello, Ann.
Hi,
Duck
hi,
down, duck
hi,
down.
Mike.
We can see your neck. Oh, there you are. Thanks again, for reading last week. Did you catch yourself on the video?
Oh, yes, I got a couple of compliments. Thank you.
I think we might be able to keep that up. This week I've got Laura Morris from Australia. She did our readings. That was fun. And Marlene, sounds like you're volunteering, right?
Sure. Just
Right,
tell me
we'll
what
figure
day I have to be in the house.
It is.
You know,
Yeah, I
it's
think we'll
pretty
do
busy out here, there's lots to do.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yeah, it's pretty cloudy. I'm right next door to the McMartin house and there's a lot of trees. We're gonna lose a lot of our Main Street trees this year, but there's 2 squirrels today and they're doing their acrobatics in the tree out here. That's my little bit of entertainment sometimes in the morning before I go out for coffee.
Oh, you can go out for coffee? Well, that's nice.
Well, I go out and I take my mug, I go into Coots and they have a patio and they put a plexiglass at the back and they got big sheets of plastic. So I
Oh.
can go on the patio and sit. But
Okay.
last winter, I would sit out by the Crystal Palace facing the waterfront on a bench. And it's covered enough that you can sit there and I'd be all bundled up with my mug and drink my coffee and just pretend it's, some ocean front.
I thought you were from Victoria when you said the Crystal Palace.
Oh, no. I haven't even been to BC, but I have a school friend, an old school friend. She's in Whistler and she got stuck out in Whistler
Oh,
during COVID. She hasn't been back to Toronto in 2 years. She and her husband own a house out in Whistler. Looks beautiful. And, but they've gone through the smoke problem. And then there was all the snow they had. And she's just getting so fed up being there and so lonesome. She's like me. Our parents are dead. She didn't have any children. And it's just her and her husband in this. And now, we can't go to restaurants, can't go out. So we were just saying we're tired of our cooking. And
me
what
too,
else?
me too.
What else can you make? Yeah.
I'm getting tired. We ordered what did we order? We ordered Hello Fresh last week
Oh,
to try it.
yes.
One of these meal kit things where we used the Good Food Box years and years ago, but it didn't quite work for our family because there there were only 4 portions that you could get, and we had 5 people, and 2 of them were teenagers, and it just didn't work. It just wasn't.
Yeah.
It
A
wasn't
friend of
enough.
mine here, she's done the Good Fresh one, but
That's what
she's
we're-
single, and like you said, there's 2. I'd waste
for
food if I did it.
Well, we got it last week because now the biggest teenager's gone. So we thought we'd try it again, and we got it, and it was great. It was really, really good. We all enjoyed it. Every single one of us enjoyed every meal. We made and it takes about 30 minutes or so to make each meal, and you got to chop, and you got to cook stuff. You got to have things like olive oil and salt and pepper on hand, and butter. It seems they all need olive oil at some point. So having that, and then they send everything, the vegetables, the meat, the seasonings, and you just put it all. It was almost like, I was joking. I said, it's almost like the IKEA version or the cooking version of IKEA, because you get the instructions, and you don't quite know how it's going to turn out until you get to a certain point, and you're like, oh, that's why you did that. It's fun. But I am looking forward to, I think week after next, 31st is the day when restaurants come back half capacity, and the gyms come back, and the movies. I haven't seen a movie in 3 years, so that doesn't bother me so much.
Last one I saw was at the Landmark in Orleans with my son, and that was over 3 years ago.
Yeah, I think the last movie I saw was the last Star Wars movie.
We don't get Netflix either, or Crave.
No,
No, we don't.
I've
we
been
get
watching-
Disney Plus.
I guess we should be heading up to the sanctuary.
Oh, that's right. Yes, it's time for us to grab our hymn books and make our way into the church pew and enjoy
Goodbye.
the service. We got a guest from Australia, and we have got other guests from around the church to help me out with the sermon this week, and we've got my friend Rod helping me sing. So it'll be fun. All right, everybody.
Good.
Bye from Perth.